Alright, welcome back. Another edition, BPS Exclusive. I don't know what we want to call it. I think we're just going to keep rolling with this. We got another guest on this round of talks. The man, the myth, the big O, Chris Oleski. So we'll get into a couple things just because you know a couple things more than what we might. First round would be specifically like with the OHL. I know you work for the league. You work specifically the games here in Erie with the Otters. Like, how did you get into it? What kind of drew you into being able to work for the league, and what's kind of maintained your interest while doing it?
Well, hello, boys. How we doing?
Good. How's it going? Sorry, just jumping right into it.
You did, yeah. Actually, my son actually got me started in it because he was a hockey official. I'm a sports official, but I do baseball and football mostly. So he was doing hockey. He was involved in it, and asked me one day to if I wanted to do plus minus. I'm like, that's a piece of cake. Yeah, I skate by the bench. How hard could this be? They're like, oh no, you have to record every shift change that happens and write down the numbers every single time because you never know what's going to happen. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little more difficult than I originally thought. But anyway, so it kind of started with that, and then just kind of hung around with it, and started getting more and more people were asking if I wanted to keep doing it, and I did, and it just keeps on going. So I don't mind it. It's kind of nice because you get to see a different perspective and good to see some stuff. Get to spend some time with some future NHLers in the penalty box sometimes, so that's kind of fun too. Be able to interact with them and see what the differences.
How many years have you been doing it now? Like, have you been doing?
It's only been about 3 or 4, I think, that I've been doing the working for the actually working games like that off ice wise. But as you know, I've been going since before you guys were born to hockey games. So.
Yeah, all the way back to what the Erie Blades, Erie Panthers kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
Those are the inaugural honors, too. So we had the same seats for quite some time up there. So
yeah,
we're working the box. I'm sure you've heard some pretty colorful language coming from.
Yeah. I mean, not only the language, it's just some of the banter is actually even funnier. Like I remember one from last year. I think it was. Maybe somebody from Windsor, one of their better players was in the box, and Otter came in, and I think it was somebody that just arrived, and he was just chirping at him, and the Windsor guy finally was just like, I don't even know who you are. So I thought that was a good one. But, yeah. So that's a little bit about that.
And then, obviously, you've done some more officiating in the past. High school football is a big thing. Well, it was a big thing for you before you decided to step back. And baseball is another thing that you enjoy to do. So you've been doing that for longer than what I can remember.
Right, yeah. Football, I've been at it for 25 years now. Baseball just got in about 4 years ago. But it's good to keep, we got to get younger guys like you guys involved in this kind of stuff because I think the PIAA, the median age was like 58 or something crazy like that. Like I don't know how high school sports continues without having a newer generation officiate because, there's nobody else. They're not really stepping up, right? And you can see why. It's a thankless job. You're always getting ridiculed by parents or coaches or anything like that. But it's good. It keeps you sharp mentally. It keeps you sharp, keeps you in shape a little bit at least. Doing, officiating on field. So, and it keeps you close to the game. And we always tell younger guys that are, getting out of school or played and can't play anymore in college. It's a great way to stay close to the game and still be able to contribute. So, whatever BPS can do to recruit officials, we're all ears.
Well, there we go. It's a good recruitment opportunity here. So,
exactly.
So you're big in the game. All right, playoff time. We're amidst the playoffs. We're still in the middle of round one.
Let's go Sabres.
Yeah, we got a big Sabres fan here. He's hasn't seen the playoffs, or his team hasn't seen the playoffs since 2011. So 15. Well, would have been
those were pretty lean then too. So this goat head white jersey that I am currently wearing from the Sabres was circa 1999. finals against the Stars is when these were brought out.
Let me
For
guess.
the entire family. You can see over there.
Let me guess. No goal, foot in the crease,
All right.
doesn't count.
Yep, that
I've
was
heard-
the sad thing. What that was like, it was overtime. It was Saturday night. It was late, and I'm thinking, all right, just get this one, and we'll take our chances and going back to Dallas. And then that happened, and it was just it was just a farce back then with the whole anything in the crease thing making a difference, and it really didn't have an effect on the play per se. But it is what it is. I guess it's just part of it.
It just seems like the whole like late '80s, like '90s, early 2000s were all such a weird time when it comes to roles around like in the blue paint, being in the blue paint
Right,
specifically, because you don't have any clear cut answers. It's all depending on what the official sees.
And that's why they tried to make it back then was you're in the crease, it's no goal. Where now you got, okay, did he push him in? Did he go in on his own? How did he get there? And they make it a lot more subjective, I think, on some of that. So, very interesting.
But I also think with all the camera angles and all the technology that they have with today, it does make it a little bit easier because you have 1,000 different camera angles that you can look at with the help of Toronto or the league to kind of go with it.
How'd that go in Edmonton the other night?
Not good, but yeah, I know they're always.
I'll tell you my feeling on that. I think everybody can pretty much honestly say that puck went over the line.
Yeah.
It was a goal.
Yeah, even though you couldn't see the top of the puck.
I mean, I've seen so many jokes and memes
exactly.
of people like reshaping the puck. Like, I guess the puck looks like this now. It looks like a football.
Right, exactly. Like they made it. No, it says clear and it's got to be positive, evidence that there's nothing that it's completely over the line. Well, I mean, like you said, anyone knows. Like let's look at common sense sometimes too, guys. Right? Like the puck's over. I know you can't see, but anyone with any kind of depth, you can see like that's got to be over the line. But I mean, in Edmonton's career, they didn't really argue it very much either. I mean, I think they do. It's like that's a goal.
But like you shouldn't argue it. Again, it's common sense by Knobloch. It's common sense by the team. It's just fans that are like, oh, you didn't count because
you can't see the top of the puck.
But who cares? Like who?
You need clear cut evidence, and I can't see that top of that puck might be touching the red line. It's like no, I don't think it was, but whatever. I think we get. I mean, that's what you get with replay, though, right? I mean, replay opens up a whole bunch of doors that probably shouldn't be open sometimes.
But you're gonna get that with any sport as well.
Yep.
Like it doesn't matter. Any sport you're gonna get the whining and the moaning and whatever it might be. So, but hey, that's just the outcome. The game's done and over with. So, Anaheim in 5. Anaheim.
It's looking like it.
Anaheim in 5. Buffalo in 5. Pittsburgh in 7.
No, man, I mean, Buffalo is, I think, taking everybody by surprise. Man, like, pretty much copy and paste roster from what they had last year. It's not a whole lot of lot of changes. They just kind of came out of nowhere and took.
Well, it
took
was
the league by surprise.
What, December 10th, last place in the Atlantic. Last place. I might have been in the last place in the conference actually, and
they were down there. I don't think.
What I'm saying. I know they were definitely last in the Atlantic on December 10th, and who would have thought we'd have a complete turnaround? And what did they do? I mean, they got rid of Kevin Adams, but I mean, really, it's still his team. He picked all the players. I mean, that's like okay, whatever. But it's still his team. And in his credit, he's gotten some interviews, so maybe he gets another shot at it.
Well, I mean, nobody would have thought 4.5 months later you'd be top of the division.
Exactly.
Fighting getting first home ice advantage for the first 2 rounds there.
Yeah.
Assuming
stifling Boston that last game. Boston was completely uninterested in playing that game at all.
Yeah.
They were just in front of their home crowd. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how they come out.
I think you guys have lost as much as 10 games in the new calendar year.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been crazy that coming out of the Olympic break, they would have thought, okay, maybe it'll cool down then. They ran out of that like 8-0 or 10-0 or something crazy too. So.
And what happened to UPL here in the playoffs?
Well, it was bound to happen. I think. I mean, he was always been. I wouldn't say streaky, but he'll have a few good games, and then he'll let a backhand in from the red line.
I was going to say, what happened between game 1 and game 2?
Yeah.
Because that,
game 1, I mean, and some of those were a little shaky too, and a lot of those were saves you got to make. So,
but
I mean, and who knows? Lion could do that tonight. Could end up having one. We go back to UPL.
But at the end of the day, UPL was really the only reason why you guys stayed in game 1 and stormed back to take it and win it.
Well, yeah.
But I get it for game 2. That's line.
What do you Penguins fans think of the situation since you made a change?
Yeah, I mean, Stu looked really weak in game 3. He kept us in game 1. Game 2 is a whole different story that I don't want to get into quite yet. Game 3 by far was his weakest game. I'm happy that we went to Artie. I'm happy that hopefully we relight the flame, the fire underneath Stu's ass that he needs. Because assuming we do make it to round 2, and we do play the Carolina Hurricanes, and Artie's game goes to crap, we need that person who's hungry, who wants to stay in the net.
I mean, I think everyone's got that same situation. Buffalo, they said the same. I mean, there was a 2-goalie system all year, right? There was 2. They played pretty much evenly most of the year. So that's to be expected. Like Wendy said, we do it all the time, so it's not a big deal for us. We'll switch back if we have to.
Well, you guys pretty much also can run a 3-goalie system with Devin Levi down.
Well, no, Elvis has been doing it. It was the third. I don't know what the deal is with Levi, to be honest. I don't know what the plan is. I mean, he's been cooking down there in Rochester for a few years now. I mean, when they got him a few years back and they put him in at the end of the season, they thought he was, the next coming, and then he got a little shaky, and then they sent him down, and now he's been down there full time for 2 years 2 years straight now. So I don't know what their plan is for him. I mean, they picked up Ellis on waivers, so they got a pretty good deal on him, and they have that 3-goalie rotation going. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't know what they're planning. I mean, they just lost to Cleveland too, I think, right? In the deciding game the other night, so Rochester's out now.
I really haven't been paying much attention to the AHL playoffs, so I mean, I should definitely get into it, but I honestly haven't. So I can't really say. It would be nice to go to a Cleveland game, the Monsters game.
Right.
I've been hearing good things from Anthony, who sits in front of us at the Otters. I've been hearing all good things when him and his family go out there. So it would be a nice thing to go out.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, but Buffalo, man, if it's not the Penguins, I've been saying I want Buffalo to do it. I don't think in sports, and I wouldn't even just say in the NHL playoffs, just sports in general. I don't think there's a fan base, a city more deserving than Buffalo right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they came out in droves in these watch parties, so it's going to be interesting to see.
We said if they go to the finals, we're going down there. So
exactly.
we need to be a part of this and see this.
Yeah, I saw the reaction after the game 1 comeback, the win, and how the fans were knocking over the fans are knocking over the gates, the fences in front, losing their mind, taking off the shirts, and it's like,
they're
dude,
they're helping to put the fence back up.
Yeah, it was in 35, 40 degree weather, and you guys were out there shirtless, partying. Well, they were probably drunk off their rear ends, but because that's.
Well, look at this. Mama brought some hot cookies to the podcast.
Mama O brought over some good cookies. Thanks, Mama O.
You're welcome. Bill for coffee, let me know.
Appreciate it.
All right, moving on to the MLB. Thankfully, I'm joined by another Cleveland Guardians fan here. I'm not surrounded by you freaking Buccos fans in studio. Thank goodness. So I'm happy to have another person on board right now.
Wow.
So
I didn't realize that. I thought you were more of a Pirates guy.
No.
Since you're a Penguins and Steelers guy.
I'm split. So
I don't mind the Pirates. I mean, I follow them just as much.
I don't mind them on the Guardians either.
Exactly. So it's but the Gardos have an interesting start. I mean, I don't think it's been terrible. It's been about hovering around 500, but it's the Guardians. It doesn't matter because at the end of the year, they probably win the division anyway. Because it always seems to happen that way. Like they're never that.
June, July.
Yeah, they're never that
like
bad.
30
And
in a matter of 40.
They never tear it up to start, but they always seem to be there at the end. The only concerning factor so far this year, I think, is the bullpen. The bullpen has been absolutely horrid this year. They can't hold the lead. The starters have. I think they'll get back into their groove. A few have been a little shaky, but big shake-up obviously today, getting Bazana called up from AAA, #1 overall pick, and in the lineup tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, it didn't start off too well as we're live here, and he struck out his first at bat. But
Yeah, I was gonna say the guards are exactly 500, 15-15, half a game back from Detroit. Fucking Detroit. Top of third. They're tied with Tampa at nothing. So
right. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. Like I said, that's the biggest thing. I think is the bullpen differences from last year. Obviously, they had a few guys that won't be back due to their gambling problem last year. Clause.
Yeah, let's not talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know how much that had a indirect effect, but it just seems like the bullpen's been a little shaky in these games lately, and there hasn't been really anyone they could count on like they did last year. Even with Gaddis coming back in to the fold now, Cade Smith, the closing, knowing he's the man now because Clause's not around anymore. I don't know if that got to some of those guys or what, but like I said, it always seems that way, and then everybody seems to hover in that division, and then it always ends up being close to the top at the end anyway. So we'll see how that ends up.
And then the Buccos are always complete opposite. Like,
Right, exactly, yeah.
A pretty hot start right now, or for the Pirate standard, it's pretty hot. I think we're like 15-11 or something like that right now.
16-13.
Okay, so we're not too bad. We had a similar situation a couple weeks ago bringing up Connor Griffin.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
number one prospect in the MLB, and he's off to a decent start too. He's batting like 240 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
They already guaranteed him as much money as they gave him, which
Right.
I don't know if I like. I like that management is finally taking the risk and finally showing fans that he's willing to put money into this team. But I think it was a little too soon, but I can appreciate the risk following. So
yeah, I think
we'll see how he ends up playing out. He's only
hey,
he's
Pirate
19
fans,
years old. Just turned 20 the other day. Hit his first career home run on his birthday, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Pirate fans, you guys are usually like my May. It's like, oh, she's worked 12 games back already.
Yeah.
So there's hope at least, right?
It's not a bad
to
start.
stay in there, right? Exactly. It's been just a kind of a mixed up thing. Mets are a disaster. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are having some big problems that we're counting on to do. Phillies just fired their manager today. I mean, there's been a lot of
The
weird
Red Sox,
stuff. Red Sox
just cleaned
got
house that they were projected to be really good.
Right, exactly.
They fired
It's
everybody after scoring like 19
Yeah,
runs,
exactly.
and they fired everybody.
I think it was like 17-1 that game, or 17-4 on Sunday, and they find out that they're all fired after the game. I'm like, well, what are they doing?
Yeah, Belknap showed me that on Saturday. I was like, "Why? You were off to, not the best, but you're off to a decent start for Boston's sakes, and clean house."
People were saying that they had a chance at the division, and there they are. I think they're sitting in last right now. So
yeah, they're 7 games back of the Yanks.
Yep. That's not good.
Well, I mean, you kind of expect the Yanks to be at the top of their division. They're always going to be top of the division.
Going to be there, yeah.
So, as much as you hate to say it, as much as anybody hates to say it, the Yanks are going to be always at the top of their respective division. So, somebody just needs to knock them down a couple pegs.
Right.
Bring them back down to earth. But
well, we'll see what happens. This might be the last baseball you see in a while, because I think next year is going to be a long, drawn-out labor stoppage. Because the only way this gets any better is if there is some sort of salary cap. I know people say, well, no, it doesn't matter because teams don't spend. Well, you fix that. You have a floor, you have a cap, whatever it would be. But, I mean, come on. The differences between a Cleveland Guardians team and a Los Angeles Dodgers on the payroll system is completely out of whack. It is completely out of whack. It doesn't make... And the players, every time this happens, the owners give in. The players' union is very strong. They will not settle for a salary cap. But they've got it. The other sports have done it. So there's got to be a way to make that deal sweeter, to let them know, we're going to have a cap, but you're going to share this much profit. There's got to be a way, because every other league's done it.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers' salary right now, I think they're north of $500K, or $500 million, sorry.
Yeah.
And then
the Guardians are like at 40.
And I think the Marlins are one of the lowest at 50.
It's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, that, like I said, that seems to be coming to a head here next year. So
I mean,
It'd be a tough time for baseball.
it'd be nice to be able to get some of those big players around to teams like Cleveland, like Pittsburgh, like Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be nice for some of these smaller market teams that, you know, might not get a whole lot of action. And hell, I mean, even looking at Cleveland, like, yeah, they're good. They're a good team. You know, obviously we've only seen one. You know, we've only been able to play in the finals once in my lifetime.
Right.
back in 2016 when they lost to, I think, the Chicago, the White Sox.
Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs. Sorry. Oh, that's right. The White Sox suck. To the Cubs, and, you know, just trying to find those couple of key points that might, you know, what can push you over the edge, push you over the hill to
Well, I mean,
Old
the
Glory.
problem that you see is, you know, they're good till they lose control of the person, and then they go. Francisco Lindor, you know, Corey Kluber, and you just go down the list. You know, the major leagues is set up as farm teams to the big spenders now, right? So you'll get Paul Skeens for a few years, enjoy him, and he'll be on the Yankees or the Dodgers. Same with Connor Griffin or anybody else. It's the way it is. You can't compete with it. They can't, and that's why it's going to be a rough labor situation coming up for sure.
All right, let's move over to football. With the draft just finishing up, I want to hear kind of what we've kind of shared our
I want
thoughts.
to talk about the NFL draft.
Yeah,
Just the draft itself.
just the draft itself.
When did this become such a big spectacle?
I don't know.
I've always said that this thing is a farce put on by the NFL, propaganda-wise, to make this bigger than it actually is. You watch these drafts, and you see the Arizona Cardinals select so-and-so, and then you got 4 old ladies dressed up in Cardinals gear cheering like they knew who the player was they picked. I still believe that the NFL says, here you go, put these on, and you put this on, you can keep it. You're this team, and go so and cheer when we tell you to. Right? I mean, I've seen that for years. Now, I mean, obviously they're making it a bigger deal. There was a lot of things, but a lot of people there in Pittsburgh. But it's a draft. They're calling people's names out. Like, I mean, the NFL's, trust me, they're the best marketers in the world. They'll make you believe anything that you have to be there. You have to watch it. They've got the power to do that, and they do. But, I mean, it's still, you're just picking announcing players' names. I mean, come on.
It gets boring. I
Yeah.
usually watch night one, and then
Exactly.
it's background noise for the next 2 nights.
Right,
Like,
exactly. And even then, like, you know, like 3 of them, they're like, okay, great, another offensive lineman, whoopee. Like, I don't even know who that guy is. Who is he?
I saw the numbers for a couple days ago about, you know, the how many people showed up to the draft.
Yeah.
Each past, like, I think 10 drafts from the virtual draft in 20. I think comparing when Cleveland had it a couple years ago to now when Pittsburgh had it, Cleveland had half as many.
Yeah.
400,000
Right.
or 4,000 or I don't know. I don't know.
40,000.
44. Yeah. Pittsburgh had twice that much.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh had twice that much.
Yeah.
The whole weekend, I think they said close to 900,000 for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
So
and
like 300,000 opening night.
This thing started in a hotel conference room. And now they're held outside, and they build giant, amphitheaters to put these on in now. I mean, wow.
Insane.
I mean, what a difference. And that's why. They're outside. Of course you're going to have. So they make it sound like they got all these people there. Well, I don't think they charge you, and it's outside. So, yeah. I want something to do. I'm going to go walk down there just like anything else. And, we got 200,000 people here. Half of them even know what's going on. No, we're just going because it's something to do outside.
yeah, I mean, for a city that can't even handle, like the infrastructure can't even handle its own population,
Right, yeah.
now you're adding all these other people
That's what they
into
were
the...
saying. It was kind of bad traffic-wise, and roads closed and whatever. But anyway, let's get back to the actual draft itself.
So-
As far as the...
I'd like to hear, because I already know what his thoughts are on how the Steelers drafted, but I want to
Right.
kind of want to hear your thoughts on what how your Cleveland Browns did.
I think the Browns did well. They addressed their need, right? They need to rebuild the offensive line, and they did that pretty well with 2 or 3 of their draft picks and wide receiver room. They did that with 2 of the top receivers in the draft, with Boston and Concepcion. So they handled their needs like they were supposed to. They traded down. They gained more picks. They traded down. They gained more picks next year. If Barry does anything like he did last year, his draft class, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good thing. Now, someone's not going to pan out. No one ever does, all of them. But I think if they can get the offensive line right, and then the wide receivers are upgraded, that they could have a pretty decent offense, because you throw in the ones from last year with Junkins and Fannin and quarterback, who knows? I mean, that's still going to be a problem. But
well, didn't you guys draft another QB?
Yeah, they got that guy Jalen Green from Arkansas, who's just a freak. 6'7", runs a 4.5 40. I mean, just like can do it all. I mean, it's crazy. Like, he's obviously very raw. There was a lot of interception stuff, but Deshaun Watson's been back, so you got to pay him, might as well play him.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. But
how many people do you have in the QB room right now?
just the three.
Including,
Four now, including the draft pick, because Gabriel's still there, and Shador, Watson, and this Jalen Green guy. So, like you said, in the same thing last year. But I think some of the key positions they worked on, they got the kid from Toledo at safety, who, I guess was projected a lot higher, so they seem to have stolen him in a later round. They had, like I said, offensive lineman. I think they got a linebacker in there from Alabama. So it seemed like they drafted according to need and best available. No crazy picks out there. Obviously, a lot of Browns fans are really upset when the Drew Allard pick came out, because Cleveland boy could have came home and done that, but they got a dagger when the Steelers take him.
I'm okay with the Dal Allard pick. I know you're not as happy.
I came around to it because of the way I look at it. We now have two young quarterbacks, two quarterbacks under the age of under the age of 24.
I guess that was the most confusing for me. Like, you got your guy last year in Howard. Why are we picking another one now? But
well, you got to consider, I'm doubtful Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back.
Right.
With the way that he is, with his personality, he's not coming back. And we don't know what Mason Rudolph's going to do after this contract is up.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He might even be around now. I mean, they might just...
I still got the bad feeling we're going to let Rodgers come back. I got that. Something's telling me we're going to let him
If he wants to, he's going to probably come back. And he might come back.
If he wants to, they're going to let him.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's not going to make his decision until week 1 of preseason again. So.
Right. And someone will be practice squad. Drew Allen, one of those. So you'll be stuck with pretty much the same guys. But you got to get Will Howard a chance to do something now. I mean, I know he was hurt last year, back and forth. Like, he's got to get some rep time now, rather than...
We can't be letting this 43-year-old quarterback decipher our future. If he comes back, Howard's not...
Well, in the same
Howard's going to get tired of waiting.
Isn't Mason Rudolph on the same boat? Like, he's not your future. He's just a placeholder. So, do you want him taking up reps for, Will Howard? Or we got to find out what you got?
Mason Rudolph, I think, is a very solid backup. Yeah. Very, very solid. Just he still hasn't been given the opportunity to start multiple games in a row.
Didn't he have it in Tennessee, though? Didn't they start him for
a few games?
I only maybe 2 or 3.
Was it? I can't remember if he won the job or if they threw him in because someone got hurt.
I feel now, just like I felt him back in the day when he was Ben's backup, he's a good temporary solution, but for a long-term, longevity kind of thing, he's not the guy. He's not.
Right.
Back between him and Duck Hodges. Oh, that was a rough year. That was a rough year.
Yeah.
Yeah, temporarily he's good, but he's not good for the Steelers' future. He's not good for the future of the QB room. You want that battle between Will Howard and Allard. You want that, those young guys driving new QB room. So
the fact that he keeps coming back means he wants to be. He likes being a part of this team. He likes being in that locker room, and I think he can be a good mentor to both Will Howard and Drew Allard. Obviously Rodgers can too. I mean, that's one reason they would probably allow him to come back.
Here, I don't want Aaron Rodgers mentoring anybody. He seems a little weird.
Here, let's do some
football-wise, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
talk about anything else.
Let's go do some psychedelics and talk about other BS that we want to do.
Right.
He's just
so they did UFA or they tendered him today. I think I saw. Yep.
It's something with him, yeah. It's where he can't.
The unrestricted free agent tendered to him. Tender includes a 2% increase from his previous $15 million in 26. So if you do that, then they get a compensatory pick if somebody
if he comes
signs them. So
it's
going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think the whole situation is just, it's ridiculous with him. I appreciate what he did for us this past year.
It's cool to sit here and say, hey, Aaron Rodgers played for us for a season. It's cool to say he was my quarterback.
But I still don't want him back on this team. Like, okay, now we got a year under our belt. Now we know. Let's keep moving forward. Let's rebuild the QB room. Let's get the young offense, because this league is an offensive driven, era right now. So let's build that offense up. I like what I hate to say I like what Baltimore's done, but I like what Baltimore's done. I like what Buffalo's done. Cincinnati's in the right headspace when it comes to a good offense, and it'd be nice to be the third team in the division to have a good, solid offense and a good, solid QB room.
So I just pulled up NFL Power Rankings from the Score, and interesting. So click on Cleveland, 27th. Okay. Pittsburgh, 29th. Oh, Cleveland. What?
That is
right.
Actually,
the Steelers beefed up their offensive line, and all right, but we all know receiver Mekhi Lemon was the guy they wanted at their top pick. Pittsburgh still doesn't have an answer at quarterback either. Drew Aller's body is probably not the long-term solution, and they drafted him anyway, despite Mike McCarthy's rave reviews of Will Howard. So that's an interesting one. Browns.
You can't do anything, or you can't get better if you just keep bringing back the same guy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Will Howard's not going to get any better taking nothing but preseason snaps.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he needs first team rep. Like, you got to eventually do what and that might be 2 years. Maybe but like you have to do like a KC, right? Like, okay, you were done. Patrick Mahomes, you're in.
Yeah.
You sat there, watched all year, you're in. I mean, that's what these teams do with these quarterbacks. They make them sit all year. They see it. Boom, now you're in. But I don't think Howard even was dressed half the time.
No. He was, I think, every week, he was listed as the emergency third.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's even a couple of times, because, he was still kind of recovering from that injury he had in camp last year, which kind of is the main reason he didn't play last year. But there's even times where Skylar Thompson was dressed as the backup over him a majority of the games last year. Like, I think he
so eventually, they gotta figure out, are they gonna, and that might be one more year of run. But I mean, what are you gonna gain from that? With a new coach now, you might as well start completely fresh, I guess. I don't know. Be interesting to see.
Stop putting Aaron Rodgers' ego first.
Ego and sensitivity kind of thing.
His ego will not allow him to not be the center of attention for the entire offseason.
Right.
Like, what's Aaron Rodgers going to do? He likes that attention, even though he claims he just hides and doesn't pay attention to it. Clearly he knows if he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no further comments on the air because I don't want to say anything stupid. So, yeah, we'll just move on from that. Yeah, the Bills are getting a pretty good stadium. Right next door to the old one.
Yep.
With the same name.
It's really wild. It almost looks like you drive by up through there. I don't know if you guys went around through there, but it's like Green Bay. I mean, it's like there's houses like literally right on the other side of the stadium now.
Yeah, Orchard Pond is always like right there too. Orchard Park. Sorry, it's pretty enclosed, isn't it?
The city? No, that's the name of the town, Orchard Park.
All right, whatever. You know what I mean.
No, I don't. I think you mean the stadium, the Highmark Stadium. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
So,
all the stuff is around Highmark Stadium.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
not. There's a few things, but I mean, it's right there. So the Lake Erie College was there, I think, and that's where they ended up building the new stadium, like in the parking lot next door, and then they're going to tear that one down. But it'll be interesting to see the difference. I mean, that one was built into the ground, right? So you entered at the center of the stadium, right? You went down or up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. When you went to Buffalo now. So and there was, I mean, it just goes straight back. There's no roof. There's no nothing. Weather crazy. Now this one is built like a regular soccer stadium with a little bit of a canopy and the wind things that they put on the outside. So it's gonna be interesting to see the difference in regular, real grass instead of turf. It'll be interesting to see the differences in Buffalo games now.
Well, the only thing with the regular grass is once we get into the winter, that ground's gonna be garbage, absolute garbage. Well, I feel like
anymore. These are like Pittsburgh. I mean, these NFL teams, they go, we'll just put your grass in. Yeah. Game's coming out here, just re-sign it. Like, Okay. That's what they do now. It's like, okay, I mean, the players do not want to do a turf. They want regular grass. So, and, they've done all this work with these soccer teams in England that play soccer on these turfs all year round. So, there's guys that know how to make the sod correct, I guess. So, we'll see how that works out. But
Only time will tell.
yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm tired. We're done.
It's almost game time.
Yeah, it's almost game time here, game 5. So I want to go watch the Sabres play. So hopefully we get another night of the team murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fences getting toppled over. People running the streets of Buffalo in complete joy.
That's gonna be insane. Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't get the cops called on me last night for how much I was yelling and celebrating.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, for the Penguins, yeah. So I'm actually kind of happy.
I'm kind of optimistic about them getting a game 7.
Dude, if Pittsburgh forces game 7, it's Pittsburgh's taking it. It's easier.
No.
Yeah, because
If they get the game 7, then in typical fashion they'll lose.
All right, after game 7. Oh, we just talked about game 7, but we're done. We're out. Thank you for listening, and guys, thank you, Big O, for joining us here in this rendition.
Absolutely.
So, like always, see you guys later. Peace.